Oh, hello, my friends. How are you? Always good to see you. Just checking up on everybody. Checking up on some of my friends. The early naughty and nice list. I check it all year long, and I see that David and Ian and Janie and Julia and Lisa and Maggie and Molly and Richard have all been good so far. Keep listening to your mom and dad and doing what you're supposed to do. Do your chores and listen good. Ah, looks like we've got a letter today. Let's open it and see who it's from. Letter doesn't want to come out. Stubborn little letter, isn't it? Okay, let's see. Here we go. Oh my. Dear Santa, I was wondering what that funny looking thing on your desk is. Can you tell me what it is? Signed, Little Richard Fader of East Edison, New Jersey. Well, little Richie, I'll tell you what this thing is. This is a phonograph. Nope, it's not a CD player, and it's not an iPod or anything like that. But it was just as important back in its day as those items are today. In the old days, when people wanted to listen to music, they had a phonograph. And isn't that a wonderful looking thing? It has a horn and an old-fashioned needle and a turntable and a crank. And look at this. You know how big CDs are today? Well, look at this record. It's a 78 RPM. That's revolutions per minute. And look at the size of that. It's a real Edison record. This is over 114 years old. This was made back in 1900 by the Edison Recording Company. Isn't that something to see? Wow. And look how thick that is. It's almost like a dinner plate. I could eat my supper on that. But this was a marvel of its day, and I'm going to show you how it works. You'll notice you'll have a crank there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the record and put it on here. And then I'm going to crank the crank. Look at that, muscle power instead of electricity. This is what people would do when they wanted to listen to a record. They would crank that handle until it got wound nice and tight, almost like winding a watch or a wind-up toy. And once it got a little tight, they would then turn it on with a switch, and it would start to turn, and then they'd pick it up and place the needle on the groove, and out would come music. Isn't that something? In the old days, someone would have one of these in their living rooms or in their parlors, and they would come from all around just to sit and listen in that horn. And you could turn it in any direction so the music would go. Now, would you believe that's a whole orchestra playing this song? And if it sounds like it's a little tinny, well, it's a tin horn. But we can also adjust the speed to make it slow down a little more. It's a wonder that we're listening to music that was performed by an orchestra over 114 years ago, around the year 1899 or 1900. That's really something, isn't it? Wow. When you look at how small a CD is, and that there's maybe 12 or 13, 14 songs on a single CD, but only one song on that great big Dish Light record. It's unbelievable. I gave a lot of these away back in those early days. But that's pretty much what they sounded like. People would have to get close and listen to the horn. Now we take the needle off and turn it off like that with a little break. But isn't that something? Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful invention. Now, I just want to remind you, continue to being good. Stay tuned tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to tell you who the winner of our Christmas stocking contest was. And just reminding you, David, I hope you're feeling better. I know you had a trip to the hospital the other day. Ian, Janie, Santa Claus wants to show you. There's the mechanical Charlie Weaver way up there. Mrs. C, can you move the camera up so you can see Charlie Weaver up there? And he still works if I put a couple of D batteries into him. And also Lisa, Maggie, Molly, Richard, Julia, you all be good, and I'll be seeing you soon.